Greetings! In this video, I will guide you through the process of installing, configuring and utilizing yChecklists, a Salesforce-native solution that assists your users in accomplishing tasks efficiently, staying motivated, minimizing errors and saving time. The easiest way to install yChecklists is to go to the Salesforce App Exchange. From there, you can search yChecklists, click on it, and just click on Get It Now. It will allow you to select in which organization do you want to install the application. Then you can click on Production or Sandbox. Agree to the terms and conditions, confirm and install. Log into your Salesforce org. Select Install for Admins Only and click Install. After a few minutes, it will install into your Salesforce org and you will be ready to start configuring it. Once yChecklist is installed in your Salesforce org, the next step is to manage the licenses and making sure that your users have a license assigned to them. You can do so from the Setup menu, go to Installed Packages, find yChecklist in the table and click on Manage Licenses. From here you can add users, select your users and you can add them to the list. The next step is making sure that those users have the permission set assigned to them. You can make sure that they have that permission set assigned by going to the Setup menu, then searching for permission set, finding the permission set named yChecklists. There's two of them. You have yChecklist Admins, which allows users to manage checklist templates, and then you have yChecklist Users, which allows users to actually create checklists. So let's go ahead and assign the yChecklist admin permission set to ourselves. Click on Manage Assignments, Add Assignment. Select those users that you want to give permissions to create new checklist templates. Click Next, Assign, and Done. If you have any users that only need to be able to create checklists but not define those templates, then you can go to Permission Sets, find the yChecklist user permission set and assign that to those users. For the purpose of this video, we're going to create a checklist template that will help our account executives improve their onboarding of new direct customers. Some of its tasks will be assigned to the account owner, others to Katie, who works in customer success, and some to the operations team. Before we go ahead, I'm going to create a task queue for the operations team so that they can distribute the task assigned to them as they wish. To do so, I'm going to go to the Setup menu, search for queue, click New, and then I'm going to name it Operations Team. On the available objects, I'm going to select Task, and I'm going to add some users to the queue. I'm going to click Save. And now we're ready to create a checklist template. Let's open the yChecklists app so that we can create and manage our templates. You can click on the 9 dots and search for yChecklists. From here you can see all your templates, you can see which checklists have been created, the tasks, reports and dashboards. So let's go ahead and create our first template. Click on New, and the template name, let's write New Direct Customer. Description is going to be activities to onboard new direct customers. I'm not going to set it as active yet. I want to make sure that everything looks fine before that, and I'm not going to feature it at the top, so I'm going to leave those two options unchecked. I'm not going to focus on the extra options right now, but I do want to set some restrictions. So I want to restrict this template only to be available on the account object, and the criteria, I want to use this only for direct customers. So the type is going to be customer direct, and there should only be one of these checklists per record. Let's click Save now. Now that we have our new template, it's time to add tasks to it. Let's go to the bottom of the page to the Template Task Manager, and let's start adding some tasks to it. So the first one will be to send welcome email to the customer. So our account executives will receive this task. Let's add some description to it. Just make it casual. Use existing template if needed. And this should happen, let's say, 1 day after we create this checklist on the account. We're going to assign it to the owner of the account, so it will be the field owner ID, and it's not optional, so they have to do it. The next one is to introduce customer success, to make sure that our account execs are setting up a call to introduce customer success so they know who they are. Let's say 15 to 30 minutes max, and that should happen, let's say 7 days after. That also goes to the owner of the account. Then we also want to give that customer access to the portal. So the operations team is the one in charge of creating portal users for those customers. So let's create a task for them. So create a portal user and share credentials. Share usage guide and offer guidance if needed. Loop customer support. And that should happen on day 1. So that will go to the queue that we created before. We're going to select the queue and search for the operations team. So that will go to the queue. The next one, so we're gonna do a check-in after 1 month. So let's do first month. Check in. So let's do first month. Check in. As for initial thoughts and customer experience. That will happen 30 days after we create this checklist, and we'll go to the account exec. And then finally we will have another check-in on the 3rd month. But this will go to customer support, let's say, so they can offer additional support packages if needed. And that will happen in the 3rd month, so let's say 90 days after. And we'll go to Katie, who works at customer success, so to a particular user you can search for Katie. Let's save now. So here we have 5 different tasks that happen or have a different due date, and it's all relative to the time when I create this checklist on the account. So if I do this manually on the day that that customer starts being active, for example, so I could manually create this checklist and it would automatically create all of these tasks, set the due date and assign the relevant person. So 3 of them will be assigned to the owner of the account, 1 to the task queue that we created previously, the operations team, and one of the tasks is assigned to a particular user. So now that we have everything ready, it's time to set it as active, and then our users will be able to use this checklist template on their records. Now that we have created our first template, it's time to start using it. We created our template to be used on accounts, so let's go to an account. And here we can see an account record, but we don't have a way of creating a checklist. So what we have to do is editing the page and adding our checklist template to it. You can do so from going to the setup page, setup cog, click edit page. Once everything loads, you can scroll down on the left hand side and you will find that there is a component called record checklists. You can drag that and drop it, for example, on the right hand side on that sidebar, and I'm probably going to get rid of this activity component. Okay, so now we have our checklist present on account. I'm going to click save and I'm going to activate it so that people actually see this page instead of the standard one. You can assign it as org default or just for particular applications, but I'm going to use org default for now. Next and save. Okay, says activation succeeded. So let's go back. And now we have our checklist component on the right hand side. This particular account is of type customer direct, which was the one that we set on the template. So let's go ahead and create a checklist by clicking the new button, and there we can see that this new direct customer template we created before, it's available for us to use. So let's go ahead and click it. You can see all the tasks that were defined. It has calculated the due date with respect to today, and you can see who it's assigned to. I have the option to change it right now, so if there is something here that maybe I need to change, I need to add more tasks, or I need to change the due date or change the person that is assigned to it, I can do that before I create a checklist, but otherwise you can just click create. And as you can see here, it's created a new checklist. It says created by me. Today it has 5 tasks. Let's open it. And then here we can see all the different tasks assigned to the different people. Because I am the account owner, you can see those tasks were assigned to me. And you can see the due date. And I can go ahead and start ticking mine. Once all the tasks are finished, then the whole checklist will be finished. As you can see, this is a very easy way of structuring processes and trying to enforce or help people comply with the different processes. yChecklists can also be used on more complex use cases. So one of them, for example, is that instead of wanting to set the due dates in the future, we want to set them in the past. And that can be useful, for example, if we have an opportunity that is going to be renewed in 3 months' time, and we want to beforehand set the tasks before that happens. So maybe you want to have a call 2 months before the renewal date, and you want to set those tasks in advance. So the way that you can do that is to set a custom reference date field. So if this were a checklist template that happened on opportunity, then you could maybe use your renewal date custom field as your reference date, and that would be a date in the future. And then what you would do is set the days from the reference date to be -20, -30, and that's one of the use cases. Another one is if you have a template where not all of the tasks are needed. So maybe if you complete 2 of the tasks, then the whole checklist should be set as complete. So what you can do is maybe set the minimum task here, minimum number of completed tasks to 2. And then here on the tasks, you can set some of them as optional. So they are not needed in order to set the checklist as completed. So in this scenario, we need 2 tasks. So it could be these 2 or these other 2, so any combination of them would be enough to make that happen. To summarize, in this video we've seen how you can install yChecklists from the App Exchange assign licenses and permission sets, how you can create checklist templates, and then add them and create checklists from any record in Salesforce. And you can also see how yChecklists can also take care of more advanced scenarios. So if you want to try yChecklists, just go to the App Exchange and click Get It Now. Thank you for your time.